Good, isn't it, Brian? Rich, do you want to kick us off?
Yes. Morning, Fabian.
Morning.
And don't put ends to Sunday's match. We didn't hear from you afterwards, but you're still unbeaten. What were your reflections on that match against Forest?
Yeah, a little bit similar to the match 1 week before against Ipswich. I think we did enough to win this game. In the end, if you don't make the third goal, then you have to defend better, and you can't concede these easy goals, and then we have to improve. But it's always in life a thing of the perspective, how you want to see it. So on the one side, you can say, yeah, we didn't won 2 games in a row where we should normally deserve to win, or you say you're still unbeaten. So I'm more the direction to the positive one. I see always that the bottle is just half full and not half empty, and that's why we keep staying positive and seeing the positive things in the situation.
So no first defeat yet, but you have had a first in English football in the red card. Can you clear up what it was for, and have you spoken to anyone in the refs organisation, you think, GM?
So at the beginning, I didn't know for what I get the red card, and then I talked to Howard Webb, yes, because in the end I heard that I get this red card for stepping on the pitch, and I think if you give a red card for this, I think you have to ban a lot of coaches during the games, because it happens in an emotional phase of or emotional situation of the game. It will happen that you make a step on the pitch. Of course, we are all role models and we have to act like this. But I think sometimes you also should bring out your emotions. In this case, it was like just to protect my player. In this case, it was to protect João Pedro, because for me it was a hard tackle on him. And if I don't show emotions there, me as a player, I would say the coach isn't interested in me. So that's why I try to show emotions in some part of the games.
Can you tell us what Howard Webb said to you?
Yeah, I think the positive thing is like they are very open. So Howard Webb is also very open. He listens to me, and he gives me like a clear explanation of the situation, how the referee saw the scene, how the fourth official saw the scene. I think it's very important to have a good discussion and a clear discussion, how I see the things, how they see the things, because in the end, we should have a good relationship. Of course, sometimes I don't agree with the what the referee for what the referee gives a foul or not. But in the end, he also won't agree with all what I'm doing on the sideline. But for me, it's very important that we have a respectful relationship, and the exchange with Howard was very respectful and very empathic and very listening. And in the end, I hope that we will find the right solutions.
Yeah, last one on this. So you've got the FA charge. You have till tomorrow to respond to that. Do you contest that? Do you accept it? And do you know what the punishment would be if you did accept it?
So I know what the fine will be, and I also know that I will be on the sideline against Chelsea, and I think that's the most positive thing, that I can support my team, that can help my team. So of course I also have to learn out of this situation how fast you can get a red card here in this league, and it's a learning process for me as well. But of course the fine we will accept. Yeah.
And so from the outcome of that whole situation, João Pedro looked in a bit of discomfort after that tackle. How is he?
Yeah, for me, this tackle, of course, you can see it in TV or in television, but you have to see it on the pitch, how hard it was, in which dynamic it was. I think the TV can't give you the right dynamic of what happens in real life. And it was a hard tackle for me. And of course, João had some problems after the game. He still has some problems. You have to go week for week with him, but I don't think that he will be an option for the weekend.
Okay, and maybe further than that, potentially?
Yeah, then we have to keep looking. So I'm not sure how long he will be out. I think that João is a good healer, and I'm convinced that he will be back soon. But of course, also with this player, we can't take any risk. We all know that he's a player who can make the difference for us. But of course, we also have like several other options and several other good options. And now we try to replace him as good as we can and give him like a good rehab. And I'm sure he won't be out for so long, hopefully.
Any other team news in terms of injuries? Anyone new? Anyone coming back?
No, I don't think so. Of course, Yasin Ayari, after his illness, he will be back on the pitch. But the others, no.
I asked about Solly March a few weeks ago. You can still see all the videos of him training, and Brian Gruder back in training as well, it seems. Is there a plan for them penciled in maybe for an under-21s match or something? Or do you take it week by week?
So with Brian, he was out for 5-6 weeks. I think that he will be back in the squad very soon. Maybe already at the weekend. We will see how fast he gets reintegrated in the team, how fast he adapts to the intensity of the training, and then he might be an option for Saturday. And with Solly, it's unbelievable how good he is adapting. We're all surprised in which shape he is. He looks very sharp, and there we have to make now the next decision. What is the next step for him? Is it maybe playing an under-21 game? But there is also important which under-21 game he's playing, and what is the best for him, and also where he feels like comfortable, because he has to feel comfortable after this long injury that he will make the next right step. And it's important to make it step by step and not to do 2 or 3 steps in one time. And I'm very happy how he's doing, and I think he also feels very happy. He has a lot of energy, and you also see it in the training which impact he can have on the team.
Yeah, and last one for me, the draw last night for the Carabao Cup in Liverpool. So it looks like you probably played them twice in 4 days. I think they're playing on the Sunday before. At least it's at home versus City draw. How do you assess that?
Yeah, I had a similar situation last season with my former club, where we played, I think, in Düsseldorf, and then 3 days later in the cup game against Düsseldorf. So it's always like interesting how you prepare the first match, then how it went the first match. If you do some changes, if not, if you change a player, if you change a tactic, it's a little bit like a tactical thing, but also the thing how fit are the player in these cases. And it will be very interesting not only to play 2 games in a row against Liverpool, just to play against Liverpool. I think will be an interesting thing. They had a great start in the season. They have a great new coach, but I think now we have to focus on Chelsea, because it's a very big challenge. I think for me, one of the best teams in the league so far, and we are really looking forward for it.
Fabian, Jack Hinshelwood had ice on his ankle after the game. Was that precaution? Is he okay?
It was a fast regeneration after the game, so fast treatment for his ankles, and no, he will be fine.
Good stuff. You've mentioned Chelsea there. I spoke to the Bournemouth manager a couple of games ago. He said they're one of the toughest teams to analyse, to prepare for, because they've got so many good players and so many different ways of using them. Obviously, we've had a couple of games since then. Are they getting easier to prepare for, or are they still a tough challenge to just get your head around what they can do?
So on the one side, of course, you have to analyze them by what they're doing tactical on the pitch, and they have very good solutions. They have great goalkeeper who starts trying to build up the game from their back, always with his feet. He's a very good football player, and then of course they have a good positioning in possession, so normally open with a 3-2, but still very fluent. I think Enzo is also dropping in the midfield, and then on the other side, beside these tactical things, they have like great individual players. So you have to keep focusing on where you can create a good match. So don't create a mismatch. Try to bring players in personal duels where you think that would be a good match. So, for example, against the wingers, who do you bring as a fullback against Sancho, against Madueke? They're both very fast, both very good dribblers. Who do you bring against Jackson, who's a fast striker, who's also good in possession? So, on the one side, of course, the tackle thing. On the other side, trying to find good matches with your players to their players. And then, of course, I think beside that, how you want to press them, it's also very important to find a good solution in possession for our own. So how is the match plan with the ball? Because you can't go there and try to only defend. You have to go there and have a lot of courage with the ball and try to build up with a clear idea and with a good positioning, because then they also have to defend. And this will be the thing what we will try to do.
You go up against excellent strikers every week in the Premier League, but Nicholas Jackson
Yeah.
in extraordinary form. Is there anything that he does that is unique to him that's going to pose a different challenge to normally?
So I think he is a full package. So he wants to combine. So sometimes he's getting more in the 10 space where he can combine with his teammates, where he's there with Palmer, with Caicedo, with Enzo Fernandez. And on the other side, he's also very fast, so he can attack the back from us. And this balance makes him very dangerous for us. And of course, he's a top striker, and at the moment he's in very good shape. So you can't defend him in a 1-against-1. So you have to always try to, on one side, get pressure on the ball so that they can't play the long ball in the back from us, and on the other side, you always need to find a good balance, how close you want to defend them, and how you want to defend the back of our back four.
And for Brighton on Sunday, Karu Matoma had a spell where he was such a threat down that left-hand side, and with his injuries, I personally haven't seen him in that sort of form for a long time. I wondered how impressed you've been, and if there was a moment in the last couple of weeks where you thought, oh, I'm going to enjoy working with this player.
I enjoyed working with him from the first day because he's a great guy, very humble, trying to do everything to improve. And I think after his injury, he needed a little bit time to come back to find to his old shape. But we don't put a lot of pressure on him. I think he knows the best what to do to get back in his shape, and he's doing it better game for game. Of course, in the end, we want that he scores and making assists. I think he had some great chances in the last games, but he was a little bit unlucky. But he's keeping trying. He's always there on the second post. He tries to have the easy tap in, but he also tries to go 1-against-1 and make a shot on the goal. So he's very flexible. He's improving with his crosses. So I think it's still in a process and a development where he is, and I'm very happy how he's, which situation, which shape he is at the moment. But we still try to improve in every phase of the game.
To my very amateurish, untrained eye, his first touch looked amazing in that.
It is, yeah.
When you're working with 25 guys a day who've all got an excellent first touch, does it still stand out? Is it special?
I think in some ways his first touch is special. But of course, it's also like a thing why I'm like convinced you can train. So how you pass, how you take the first touch, and if you do a lot of these exercises in training, I think you can improve. But of course, Mitoma has an outstanding first touch. He's an outstanding player. He's a player who can make the difference. But again, also for these players, there are still things where we can improve. And the thing is that he wants to improve. He doesn't say I'm finished with my development. He's still searching for potentials, and that's what is really impressive with him.
Good luck.
Fabian, you put Jack Hinchwood into the midfield at the weekend. His performance and what you see in training, does that make you think maybe twice about where you might use him going forward as well as at fullback?
Yeah, it's tough because he can play several positions really good. So I think against Nottingham, he made an outstanding performance in the midfield. He understands the game. He's very clever in recognizing the spaces, how I need to open the passing lines, how I need to move in which space to find the free teammate, and it only works if you really understand the game, and he does it in an outstanding way. And on the other side, he also performs quite good as a fullback. So it's tough for me to bring him in the best position, because I think he has several best positions, and in the end, I think we have to make a decision where he helps the team the most, in which situation of the game we are, and how the opponents are. I talked about the matches with the opponents. Therefore, we need to find again the best position for him against Chelsea.
Just with regards to Joao, how important is it to have someone like Evans starting to look a little bit sharper on the pitch, getting more minutes as well as another option? I know you've got Jorginho as well, but how important is it to have that option more available to you going forward for the next few weeks?
Very important, because Evan is a player who is a clear target player in the box. So he knows how to move in the box. He has a good nose for some situations. He's there when he needs an easy tap in. He's there when he needs to make a header. So he looks very good also in training. Of course, against Nottingham, we were thinking about bringing him a little bit earlier to the game, because we know his strength. But in the end, the most important thing is that he's fit, that he's training every day, that he doesn't feel his injury anymore, and that he's getting back to his best shape. And therefore, we need to help him. We need to give him also game time, for sure. But I'm really keen on working with him, because I think he can have a great impact on our team.
With regards to Chelsea, when you've spoken about them today, you used the word pace and speed
Yeah.
and fast quite a lot today. How do you counteract that? Because you play quite a high defensive line. Is it about pressure when they have the ball further up the pitch? Is that going to be the key to success on Saturday?
Yeah, so avoid that they have time on the ball and can play a long ball in behind. So I think that's very important. And then if you get pressure, I think then you can defend with this high line, because it's all about compactness. On the other side, I think there will be also moments in the game where we have to defend in a low block. So a low block means that you go and give them the space behind our back four. So we have to stay very low and stay compact. In the end, it's all about like compactness. So when you go high pressure, you need to have a high line. Otherwise, you're not compact. If you go low, it's the same with the striker. The striker have to come back so that you are compact. Otherwise, it won't work. And the goal we conceded against Nottingham was not the mistake from the back four. It was not the thing that we stand this high. It was more that we don't get pressure and that we open the middle. And that's a thing you can't do if you want to play with the high line. And we have to learn out of it.
Just finally, we have a new coach here at Brighton. They have a new coach in Enzo Maresca. What do you know about him? And you've come across him before. What have you made of what he's done in a very short space of time at a club that's gone through a lot of transition recently?
So I don't know him personal, but I think he had a great start, and he plays a very good style of football. Of course, he has also like great players, but in the end, he brings them in the right positions, and they're very fluent. They have a lot of self-confidence. So it's the only thing what I can say from the distance, that what I see in the games is quite impressive, and it will be a big challenge for us to compete against them on Saturday.